When you ask this one question, you get the same answer. Everyone is looking to make £10,000 a month, but there is a big problem. With so much fluff and BS out there, you've probably lost hope, and you may not think it's even possible any longer. There are so many people out there making it seem that it's much easier than it actually is. In this video, I'm going to give you a simple 2-step actionable plan anybody can follow. And after you finish watching the video, there will be a link in the description where you can download the step-by-step plan for yourself to follow. But just before I wrap this video up, I'm going to cover possibly the most important piece to this whole puzzle, which is going to dictate whether you are successful at this or not. Let's begin. When you open up your social media feeds these days, it feels like almost everyone is some kind of entrepreneur, founder, or CEO. But is that the right path for you? And have you taken into account the risks involved with becoming one? Well, let's start off by identifying exactly what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is someone who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Naturally, being an entrepreneur comes with risk. And if you're a person that's risk adverse, this may not be the most suitable path for you. And you have to be prepared for setbacks, failures, and rejections, which many people just aren't cut out for that. It's okay. Not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, founder, or CEO to get to 10,000 a month. And I'm going to show you how. The issue with being an entrepreneur is that it can be very lonely.
It's not always sunshine and beaches. What does it take to get there? What does it take to build that lifestyle where you can make money and work from anywhere in the world?
Now, I know in today's world, it seems like everybody is going from 0 to 10,000 in a matter of 30 days or so. But the reality is far different from that. So stop comparing your timescales to others. In fact, you should let go of any timescales whatsoever, because the reality is, if you set yourself an expectation to achieve it in 3 months, 6 months, and you don't get there, the fall will be much, much greater. You see, I struggled for 2.5 years on my own, and I made a grand total of £7. But guess what? I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with the journey. And then it took me a good 3 to 4 years to have my first £10,000 month. So my advice would be simple. Commit to the journey of getting there, working on yourself, and detach yourself from any timescales. But the good news is, you don't need to be an entrepreneur in order to make £10,000 a month. Step 1 of going from 0 to £10,000 is understanding that nobody actually makes money. You see, the only organizations that make money are the central banks and government, but that's for another time. Normal people like you and I, we provide value to people, organizations. We solve their problems, and in exchange, they give us money as a way of payment. Just to be clear, this is the value that you bring in the marketplace. Now, you may be a valuable member of your family, of your friend circle, of your local community, but what we're talking about here is the value that you bring to the marketplace, and that's called reality. This is why it is possible for a director of a company to be earning multiple 6 figures and the administrator to be earning £20,000 a year. They bring different values to the marketplace. So the first step is really to figure out what value you can bring to the marketplace, or what problems you can solve. If you already have a set of skills, some value that you bring to the marketplace, congratulations. But if you don't have any value or real life solutions to bring, don't worry, because you can use leverage. You see, business is all about arbitrage. What is arbitrage, you might be thinking? Arbitrage is the difference between how much you can get access to something for and how much you can then go on to sell it. And that difference is called arbitrage. Let me give you an example. If you studied at college or university, you wanted to gain a certain degree, a certain set of skills or knowledge, which you can then use to go and sell to an employer. Let's say that it cost you 20,000, 30,000, or whatever the amount is today to gain that degree through college or university. You will then use that to go and sell to an employer for maybe a 30, 40, or 50,000 pound a year job. And that difference is called arbitrage. But there's one very big problem if you do it the traditional way. It's going to take away the best part of 3 years of your life, and you'll be paying back that loan for the best part of 10 years. Now, I don't know about you, I'm not a fan of those odds. In fact, there are much easier ways to create that same arbitrage to get to 10,000 and more if you know how. Remember, you get paid for the value you bring to the marketplace, not the piece of paper you show to an employer. Now, one of the fastest ways to creating that arbitrage to the marketplace is in the digital world. Yes, I'm talking about digital marketing. It's exactly how I got started. I attended a simple 3-day boot camp for digital marketing where I learned more in those 3 days than most people learn in 3 years at college or university. And then I was able to use those skills to create a successful business for myself. There are tons of valuable skills you can learn in a matter of weeks to become more valuable to the marketplace. Things like copywriting, AI, traffic generation, advertising, engagement, and the list goes on. Now you might be thinking, well, they sound really, really hard. Well, let me give you a reality check. In order to achieve something you've never achieved before, you're going to have to do something you've never done. I see it time and time again. People don't want to change. They want to remain the same. They want to have the same knowledge, mindset, skill set, but they somehow think their life will change, their income will change, and everything around them will change. Well, I'm here to give you a reality check. Nothing will change until you do. And it starts with doing something that you don't want to do. Everybody wants to play in the World Cup final, but in order to play in the World Cup final, you will have to play on a cold, dark, wet, and windy night in the middle of nowhere in order to get there. And that's the part that not many people are willing to do so. Here's where it gets interesting though. You don't need to be the expert or the go-to authority of that particular skill or niche. Absolutely not. You see, you just need to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of the person or organization that you are helping solve that problem. And that's how you can capitalize on that arbitrage. Let me give you an example. If you know how to use AI tools or software, how to grow someone's audience and get them more engagement, that's value you can capitalize on. And if you don't, well, you're gonna have to learn. Now, before you get all down about learning a new topic, let me let you in on a little secret. Gone are the days where you have to spend years on end studying how to learn something. In today's day and age, you can commit 1 to 2, 3 weeks and really dive deep into a specific topic and become in the top 10% of that particular field. You will be 90% ahead of everybody else in a matter of weeks, not years. And then you'll be ready to share that value and cash in. So hopefully you can see how anyone can do this regardless of their circumstances. Now, this next part is the part where most people fall over. Can you guess what it is yet? If you answered sales, you are correct. You see, it's finding people with problems that you have the solution for where many people struggle. It's finding clients. It's putting yourself out there and letting people know that, hey, I have the solution for your problem. I have value to share with you. And the reason is because people hate sales. And the reason they hate sales is because they don't understand sales. Let me shed some light on this for you. You see, you have actually been selling for a very long time without realizing it. We're all selling because the minute we leave formal education, high school, college, university, the thing we are doing and the product we are selling is our time. We're selling our time to the highest bidder. What happens when you go for a job interview? What do? You're trying to sell yourself on why they should hire you. You're not sitting there saying, hey, hire me or don't hire me, I don't care. You're clearly trying to sell your skills, your knowledge, yourself as an individual so that that employer will hire you. Well, why not start selling the value that you have to share with people rather than selling your time for money? That will be a much faster way to get to £10,000 than ever trying to do this as an employee. Because this is where most people fall down, I'm going to give you the fastest way of finding those people that will be willing to pay you. Step number 1, I want you to get your phone out and look through your phone book. And look at every single name and ask yourself this question: what value can I provide to that person? Think long and hard. What do they need? Have you got a skill set? Do you have something that you can help them with? And then I want you to get in touch with them and say, hey, how you doing? How is everything? Start a conversation. Don't just go diving in and saying, hey, I'm going to build your website, or I'm going to give you this AI tool and do this stuff, because the truth is, people like to have a conversation first. And once you've been through your phone book and exhausted that option, or maybe you have absolutely no one in your phone book that you can help, well, then you go to option 2 and you look at the people in your phone book and you say, who do they know that I could add value to? Because everybody knows somebody, everybody knows a business owner, everybody knows an entrepreneur, everybody knows someone that is looking for a solution to their problem. And all you need to do is match up the problem with the solution that you have and create that arbitrage. And the quicker you can do that, the quicker you will get to the magic £10,000 a month mark. The quicker you get used to solving people's problems and providing value for them, the quicker the money will come. You see, most people just get so fixated on that £10,000 a month mark, and the value bit is completely left forgotten about. And guess what happens? People see that. People see that, look, this particular person doesn't have much value to give me. Now, those 2 options alone will be enough to get you going, and I will be absolutely shocked if you don't find at least 2 to 5 people who you can help. What this is going to do is build a new habit for you. Build a new habit of providing value and helping people, and the money will come. Now, word of advice: if someone asks you for help but they cannot afford it, do it anyway. The reason you want to do it is because you will get a great testimonial, and you can use that case study for the next person that you help that will be willing to pay you. So don't be put off by doing free work, because everybody does free work at the early stages. I mean, I offered my services out for free to as many people as I could. Eventually, some people took those services on. They gave me a great case study and testimonial, which I showed to other people, and then they started to pay me, and that is how I ended up getting to £10,000 a month. Now, the final piece of this puzzle is arguably the most important one, and this is going to dictate whether you do succeed or whether you fail. And that piece is your reason why. You see, many people want to get to £10,000 a month, but they simply do not have a strong enough reason to do it. Maybe you're in a comfort bubble. You have a job, the bills are paid, you have some money left over, and you're just living a comfortable lifestyle. And £10,000 a month becomes a nice to have, not an essential to have. And this is where the expression comes from: comfort kills income. So the honest truth is, unless you have a strong enough reason to make that £10,000 a month, it's probably going to be difficult for you. When I was made redundant from a £50,000 a year job with a 3-month-old baby and a wife to support, that left me absolutely shattered. I had to sit down with myself, and that was a strong enough reason for me to make my business a success, because I knew there could only be one option. It was all on me. It was all on my shoulders. So I want you to do this exercise before you embark on this journey. I want you to sit down alone, go to a coffee shop, go somewhere where you can just zone out and be with your own thoughts. And I want you to think about, what is your reason why? Why do you need to do this? Why Why do you need to achieve this? Because I can guarantee you, if your reason isn't strong enough, neither will your motivation be. And when the motivation wears off, the discipline will not be there either. Reasons come first, answers come second. I hope this has been useful and eye-opening for you. I look forward to seeing your successes, and as always, I will see you in the next video.